Hi, I'm Farren Ray and I'm going to take you through my game day experience. I've just rocked up to the game here, normally about 2 hours 20 before the game starts, but Friday night traffic sort of held me back a bit. I got there about 2 hours before, so I'm actually walking in thinking I'm a little bit late here, but most boys still weren't there because of traffic. Here I'm getting my knee, my patella tendon strapped by our physio Chris Bell. I've had a bit of patella tendon soreness from a knock probably about 3 weeks ago, and it's sort of hung around the last few weeks in quite an annoying spot. So I get that padded up and off we go. There's Armo annoying me like he always does. I like to stay pretty relaxed before a game, so there we are, having a few jokes with Armo and Jim. And so here I am getting my ankle strapped with the trainers. You can see Phil strapping my ankles, and Kenny Whiffen in the background. He was the runner in the 66 grand final. So I've been at the club 5 years. He's been at the club since 66 or a little bit before. So blokes like that really are the heart and soul of the club. He's still very good. You know, I have to say he's our best ankle strapper. So I'm sorry to all the other guys, but yeah, so I like to go out on the ground before we do our on-ground warm-up by myself. I'll go out, just get a feel for it. Always got a footy in my hand. I need to touch the footy as much as I can before the game. But it was a little bit different this night because there was a Legends match on. So had a little bit of a watch, and then I just stride up and down the boundary line. Just chatting to Book, Tony McHale. I think I was pointing out Sammy Hamill, Max Hudgston. They were trying to get a kick during the game. Yeah, so this is our Soldier On program. Great initiative by the club. We get a returned serviceman from war down into the rooms. We hand him a jumper. He has a little chat to us about what he's gone through and how we can put that into football. Just chatting to the first gamer actually, Darren Minchington, trying to give him some words of wisdom. Yeah, this is Scotty's first address to us. So we'll go through the finalised team, any team changes for the opposition, and just tactics throughout the night. This is me chatting to our tagger, Clint Jones.
You remember what this discussion was about?
Oh. Probably nothing actually. No, we're probably talking about certain players on the opposition. So I'm just searching through the footies here. I'm pretty fussy with my football, so I need to pick the best one there. Yeah, so I do this every game. I just like to do a lot of touch before the game, get a good feel of the footy.
Sharpens the reflexes?
Yeah, sharpen the reflexes, but because I'm sort of a running player, I get the ball out in space, so if I make a skill error, it's sort of magnified a lot more than maybe say an inside midfielder. So what I'm saying is I need value for money, so I really need to hit my kicks, hit my handballs. So here I'm just doing some band exercises for my knee, my patella tendon, that JLo, our strength and conditioning guy, gets me to do. Just warms up the knee a lot more. It's been fairly sore the last 3 weeks, so the more you can sort of warm it up, the better it's going to feel in a game. Yeah, so just warming up the back here. And just about to have a kick with one of the boys. Like I said, I like to touch the footy as many times as I can before the game.
So you pretty much just warm up with whoever's around. You don't really have a usual partner.
Yeah, I used to have a kick with Benny Mack quite regularly, but the big ruckman's always off doing other things. So yeah, anyone that I can grab. And right now I don't have anyone to kick to, so which I'll just kick to myself. Maybe old mate at the back might have a kick with me. So this is the first full group warm up inside. So we do a bit of back mobility, then we'll run around in a circle and get moving a bit. Blokes sort of move at whatever pace they want.
So this is the first thing you do as a team on the day. Everyone does their own thing till this point.
Yep. So we'll do a bit of back mobility, then we'll go into this. Get a bit of movement around the change rooms. Get some touch of the footies. Maxie Hodgson there, great player of the club, helping out. Paul Hudson in the background there. Tim Barber, our doctor. Jamie Graham.
Trusty Pumas?
They're my old trusty Pumas, yep. Got them about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
What's that?
That's a back mobility exercise. Looks kind of funny, but it warms up the back. These are leg swings. We would do the warm-up, the movements that you just saw then, we would do them every day, every main training day. So you can get a little bit sick of them, but you've got to do them before training. Well, that's what the strength and conditioning people say. The players could probably just go out and train, if you ask most of them. So here we are, we've done our run-throughs and strides and that. Now we're kicking in pairs. As you can see in the background, crowd wasn't overly big, but you've got to understand this is probably still an hour and a half, an hour and 15 before the game starts. So people are still getting to the ground. In terms of the crowd, I don't really notice the crowd a heap. I probably notice the crowd more so at local games and VFL games than, I don't know, I don't seem to notice the crowd all that much at AFL games. Maybe because I'm used to it now. Now this is the midfielders in the middle of the ground doing their centre bounce work. So the mids split up, they go in the centre of the ground. They'll do the centre bounce work. That's Dean Laley, our midfield coach, talking to us. And you can probably see in the background there, the backs and forwards are probably doing their line work. And then that's the same. The Hawks are now doing their centre bounce work, and Scotty's keeping a close eye on them, as you can see there. And this is, we're about to run off the ground. This will be the end of our on-ground warm-up. There's Peter Madden, our property steward, putting the blue armbands on us for the Blue Ribbon Cup. He's a good man, Pete, but he's very tight. Tough to get stuff off him.
Bit of a keep there, mate?
Yeah, just a bit of a bit of quiet time. It was only for a couple of minutes. Bit of quiet time, bit of visualisation. Just think of what I'm going to do. I was playing on the wing, or playing the wing most weeks, so just figure out what I'm doing, who I'm playing on. And so here I am once again trying to touch the footy as many times as I can. I'm getting nervous, probably not as nervous as I used to get when I was younger. So this is our second warm-up inside before we go out and play. So we get moving a bit more now. We'll do some run-throughs through the ladders. Fast feet, side to side. And now we're about to run out. Some blokes are pretty, everyone's pumped up. There's our banner. And you probably, you didn't see, but I always like to kick the ball through the banner. So as we run out, I kick the ball at the banner. Sometimes it goes through, sometimes it doesn't, but I've always got to do that.
It's a pretty strong start. It looked pretty good in the first quarter.
Yeah, things were going well in the first quarter. I know we won contested ball by a considerable amount. Our ball use was okay. Yeah, things were looking fairly good, fairly positive.
Hawks came out pretty strong after quarter time.
Yeah, they did. I mean, Hawks are a quality side, and I think we sort of lost our way a little bit in the second quarter. But I think we were able to. At times throughout the whole game, we played some good football. It's just we can't have those lapses against the good sides. I think throughout the year, I think our second quarter may have almost been our poorest of the year, so we need to improve that.
So coming off the ground half time, after a pretty strong quarter from the Hawks, what was the feeling like at this point?
Yeah, I mean, our first quarter was fairly positive, but our second quarter we lost our way a little bit. So I remember the boys were a little bit flat. I know a couple of guys were yelling out things like, oh, you know, heads up, but yeah, a little bit flat. But I mean, a lot of it is blokes are exhausted, so you get to the halftime break and blokes want to lay down, get a massage, reset for the second half.
Yeah. And Rui and Scott both got you in for a bit of a chat. What was the message there?
Yeah, I mean, the main overriding message was Rui mentioned to us, he asked about compared the first quarter with the second quarter, and why we played well in the first quarter and why we didn't do that in the second. So we just can't have those lapses, and I think we just needed to take the urgency we had in the first quarter into the third quarter.
Adam Snyder's first game back, that must have been encouraging to see him come back, kick 3 goals in that second half as a sub.
Yeah, I was wrapped for Schneids. He's had some injury problems and had to fight to get back into the side. I mean, I know how hard it is to get into the side, so yeah, I was really happy for Schneids. You know, I think we all know he can play, but it's just, you know, if his body could hold up, and it did, and he showed some vintage Schneider really, kicked 3 goals and played some really good footy.
Darren Minchington had a bit of the ball in his first game. He kicked a handy goal. He showed a few promising signs.
Yeah, Minchy came in and did show some signs. I think we've had some young guys debut this year and shown some really strong signs for the future. So Minchy was one of them. Kicked a goal, showed some, did some good things.
So post game, what's the routine? Take us through step by step.
Yeah, so it's a pretty sombre mood after the game, especially when you've lost. So blokes get down into the change rooms. We'll stretch down. Anyone that needs to ice, you need to get ice on straight away. And Josh will take us through our stretching and that, our certain stretching. And then we'll try to get some pizza, some fluids, some protein in before Scott debriefs us, and that could go for anywhere from 10 minutes to half an hour if he's angry. So, and then media interviews, either for the club, Channel 7, and then we'll shower up, ice bath, and out of there.